I see a lot of Anthony Richardson talk. And I feel like as impressive as he was, I don't want to say I was surprised because we knew how athletic he was coming in. Now the deep balls, the vertical, the broad jump, the 40 time, all that stuff is extremely impressive. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the Anthony Richardson hype? Because my personal take on it is, as much as I like the size, and I can see why GMs would be obsessed with that talent, right? The deep ball, the arm, the size, the speed. I get that. And GMs have egos, or coaches have egos, They feel like they can fix any issue. So they look at Anthony Richardson and they be like, well, yeah, he may not be the most accurate. His timing might not be that greatest. His progressions might not be the greatest. But we can fix that. He has all the tools itself. My concern is, if your best traits are strictly your athleticism and then your deep ball is also another trait, I feel like the whole story on Anthony Richardson over the combine had everything to do with his broad jump, his 40 time, his vertical. And Shannon Sharp said something funny yesterday. He said, if we're playing leapfrog, Anthony Richardson, I'm drafting him number 1 overall.
Yeah,
he goes, because but if we're talking playing in the NFL and playing quarterback, your thoughts on just his combine and the overall hype around his athleticism, is that something that you think as a quarterback? I mean, I've seen him as high as 2 on some people's boards. And I don't understand how anybody in their right mind can rank him over Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. I just can't. Now, if we get to Will Levis, you can have those debates. But what say you about Anthony Richardson?
First and foremost, I 100% agree. I think it's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and then everybody else. But in terms of, like, Anthony Richardson and his best quality, it's that rookie deal. I mean, you're looking at a situation that just happened in the Super Bowl this year with Jalen Hurts. The guy assistant this year, typically from 8 to 10, told you guys he was going to be out of the league. But when you have him on that rookie deal, guess what they surround him with, Jeff? An elite cast.
Yeah.
And they drafted elite weapons around him too. But that's what you can afford when you have these guys in these rookie deals. Like, you can. Cam Newton was an athlete at the quarterback position. Cam Newton played in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson was an athlete at the quarterback position, which I think Lamar gets a lot of flack. I think he's a lot better at throwing the football than he gets credit for.
Absolutely, I agree.
But nonetheless, like, these are people who still had success in the NFL. Now, more specifically on those rookie deals. And I think that if the Lions are thinking about it, because they did visit Florida, 6 times?
Yeah.
They weren't visiting 6 times for Osiris Torrance. Let's be real about it. It was for Anthony Richardson. And it was 6 times because of the same stuff that you're talking about. You see the traits.
Yeah.
But then you also see him throw the football at times. You're like, But he said it at the combine himself during the press conference portion of it, and interview portion, is like, when he's asked, like, why the 55% completion percentage? And he tells you, my whole entire life I've been the biggest, strongest athlete on the field, and I've been able to, like, take over games by just doing that. But that high level of football, and we reaches the SEC, you have to start playing a little bit of quarterback. So he's still very much a developmental piece. And I think he saw the arm strength. That was a big thing for me. I didn't care about the broad jump. I didn't care about the 40 time. I didn't care about none of that stuff. But the throwing portion, I did like to see.
Yeah, he was slinging that thing.
He was slinging that thing, man.
Yeah.
Those 63-yard bombs to whoever the hell was catching the football. I mean, as a Lions fan, how can you not think of, like, Jameson Williams in those situations? And knowing that, like, Goff missed him on a few last year.
Yeah. And
some of it was chemistry, and I'm saying the intermediate routes.
But if
like
you're talking arm talent, I mean, Anthony Richardson has more arm talent. We can agree there.
And let's be real, too. Like, we have a guy, and I don't know how long he's going to be here, but we have a guy in Ben Johnson who can fix quarterbacks. I mean, we point blank seen it this past year. I mean, 2021, Jared Goff was, I feel like everybody's ready to get him out of here. Everybody's ready to get Jared Goff out of here. But as soon as Ben Johnson was able to get his hands on him and get more incorporated with building that offense. And by the way, too, like, I don't even know if Ben Johnson so much so, like, helped Jared Goff rather than put him in positions to succeed. And I think he has that same mindset if it comes to, like, Anthony Richardson. But nonetheless, I think the most important trait is that rookie deal.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to build a stellar team around him.
No, I 100% agree. I think a rookie deal for any quarterback, it's the most valuable thing in the NFL. I mean, you look at the 2 teams in the NFC title game, 2 rookie deals. Like, you look at, Trevor Lawrence, rookie deal. Like, these guys typically, when you can build a team around those guys, and that's why I talk about Goff in the future, and people get offended because, and I understand it, and listen, I'm a guy who, me and you went back and forth. I've defended Goff a lot, and I think Goff, I do give him a lot of credit, and we agree. I think he's good enough to win a division. I think he's good enough to win a playoff game. Is he good enough to win a Super Bowl? I'm not going to say that, but he got there. Was it because of him solely? No, but he got there.
Perfect example. When did Goff go?
When he had Todd Gurley.
what kind of deal was he on?
On a rookie deal.
Right? Like, that's just...
100%. Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. And that's why, when you're looking at quarterbacks, and JB, I want to ask you too, because I haven't really gotten to talk to you about quarterbacks strictly, because we talked a little about Bryce Young yesterday, but Anthony Richardson, the tools he possesses. I feel like Anthony Richardson could be, out of all the quarterbacks, he has maybe even the highest ceiling, but also the lowest floor. Like, there's like this, you don't know what kind of quarterback he's going to turn into, because he used to call himself, Cam Jackson when he was in high school, because he was Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson into one quarterback. Your thoughts on Anthony Richardson, man? Because I think personally, can we all agree is 6 too high? 6 too high to take Anthony Richardson.
No. If Brad Holmes deems fit, like, no, it's not.
Because I agree he'll be a top 10 pick, but I'm staying the hell away from that. What do you think,
That's
Jay?
the thing. When you have a guy like that, the mold, you got to take him early. Go ahead, JB. I apologize.
No. You're fine. I don't think I'm taking him at 6, though. I really don't. I know he's going to be a project, but I'm just not willing to risk that 6th pick on a QB that early that I know is not going to be ready to automatically hit the field. I know it's going to take some time for him to get adjusted a lot more, but I really would look at some other options. Anthony Richardson isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, I still like AR-15, but I just think the Lions should wait on a quarterback. And even though he was one of the quarterbacks that they did get to meet with over this past weekend at the Combine, I still would, just be a little bit cautious of him. Like, he always completes, 50% of his passes back in college as well, too. I know it's the SEC, but still at the same time, it's like, come on, man. I need a little bit more from you from that. And I know you're going to get that out of him running, but still, like, can he be that durable in the NFL? Because this is a different league you're going up to.
Yeah, I think there's traits you look at with quarterbacks just in general, right? Completion percentage, touchdown interception ratio, how many did you win in college? Like, you look at measurables, you look at all that stuff. And Anthony Richardson, he checks out the measurables part. 6'4", got a cannon of an arm. I get all that. He runs 4.4 40.
4.3.
4.3 40. The guy's got the speed. Now, once we get to completion percentage, winning games, and Florida didn't have the most talented team. I get that, but still, even with the cards he was dealt, I'm looking at quarterbacks that elevate, right? Elevate everyone around him. That's at least guys I look for. And with Anthony Richardson, you looked at some of the performances this year, and I've only watched 3 games. I watched one of them was the Kentucky game, which was kind of back and forth. But Anthony Richardson, when he struggled bad. And by the way, I want to get people's thoughts on this. If you want to call us, give us a call, 313-552-6322. We're going to be taking calls. If it's on Anthony Richardson, on the Pistons, whatever it is you guys want to talk about, call the station, because I do want to talk to the people about this. And if you like Anthony Richardson, you don't like him, please explain why. We could talk about it. But I trust Brad Holmes. I think we can all agree there. No matter who he takes. And again, if you don't think the Lions should take a quarterback, then you should love this Anthony Richardson talk. You should absolutely love this Anthony Richardson talk, because if he goes top 5, that would mean that possibly a Will Anderson, a Jalen Carter, or maybe one of those guys slide down to you at 6. Now the question is, if you're sitting there at 6 and you got Will Anderson, or you have one of the other better defensive players, maybe a Jalen Carter, and you have an Anthony Richardson or whoever's available, who you taking? Like, let's say it's Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud. That's there for you. I think the obvious one would be Will Anderson, but it depends. Do you want a rookie quarterback? Do you like that rookie deal enough to be like, you know what, we're going to pass on whoever's there and we'll take the rookie?
Yeah, outside of like the blindly calling people busts and stuff like that, the one argument you can have against the quarterback argument is that like there have been good quarterbacks drafted past that 10th pick mark. You look at Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, like,
right.
There's still that. But in terms of like picking them 6, like, sometimes if you think that's a guy or like he's a top guy in the draft, like, he's gonna go there. I mean, Daniel Jones. I remember the draft. I'm not a New York Giants fan, and I was saying there's no way this kid goes 6. Like, this.
Yeah.
This is not,
I thought it was Dwayne Haskins.
That was going to
go to New York.
One too.
He ended up sliding.
Yeah, but what happens? Lo and behold, Daniel Jones goes 6. Josh Allen with the same completion percentage as Anthony Richardson.
I know, but
goes 7 to the Bills, and it works out. Daniel Jones with the funny enough, the Bills' offensive coaching staff, Brian Daboll becomes head coach of the Giants. Now you start to see Daniel Jones look like a guy that can win you games in the NFL.
True.
I mean, he won a playoff game actually this season. But I don't think it's too early if you have the right coaching staff in place, and I believe the Detroit Lions finally have that.
Yeah, no, I really do. Who do we got, JB? Who's on the line?
All right, so we got Kyle on line 1.
What's going on, Kyle? What do you want to talk about?
How's it going, buddy? Richardson. Let's talk about Richardson. I called last night, talked to you guys last night about Richardson, too. I think 6 is still way too high. Like Malik Willis last year, everyone was saying that Malik Willis is going to be taken in the top 5, but, man, he fell to, the 3rd round?
Yep, you are correct.
And so I don't think anyone's going to take him that high, and the reason why is because nobody wants to risk their career on someone who has problems throwing a football like that.
So where do you have him, if you like any quarterbacks in this draft, where do you have him ranked?
Man, I did a PFF mock draft, and it dropped freaking C.J. Stroud to pick 18, and I couldn't help but drool on that one. But
Oh, my God.
I know. I was like, well, luckily this is just a mock draft, man. This would be cool if this was real.
No,
but, I mean,
no, go on.
I like – no, you're fine.
I was just going to say, I agree with everything you're saying, Kyle. I think 6 is too high. And even the Lions last year, remember they teased that quarterback conversation, and then he ended up taking one. So, again, you don't really know what directions Brad's going to go. It just depends if you like the player. And I'm with you. I think 6 is maybe too high for Anthony Richardson. But can we agree that he'll probably be a top 15 pick?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't even know about top 15 because everyone has most people have a quarterback. Most teams have their quarterback. There's maybe 4 or 5 teams that don't have a quarterback that they want.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I think he's going to fall to the 2nd round, maybe 3rd round, like Malik Willis did. And at that point, I'm saying, hey, if he falls to the 2nd or 3rd round, take a flyer on him. I'm good with that. Just not at 18. We need an Adamakan Suh at number 6. We need the biggest, ugliest motherfucker you can get. Inside defensive we need that. That's what we need. And then we need the skinniest, tallest, ugliest, fastest, best hand corner that we can get our hands on. We don't need a quarterback at 6 or 18, but if he falls to the 2nd round, I'd say take a chance on him.
No, I respect that, Kyle, man. I appreciate you calling and sharing your thoughts, man. You're welcome back anytime.
Dude, I appreciate you guys.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
morning.
Have a good morning,
you too.
Kyle.
Wow.
He's not falling.
You heard that.
2nd or
3rd round pick. JV, who do we got? Anybody else online?
Yeah, we got a couple people on the line. So here's Tyrell for you guys.
Tyrell from FL. What's going on, baby?
Yo, Jeff, what good, man? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good morning, Tyrell.
I'm fantastic. It's good to talk to you. It's Terrell. There's no Y in my name. You all always do that to me. But I have a point, and I have a question for y'all that I need you guys to answer for me, especially from Easy, the resident golf hater in the house. So, can y'all explain to me? I'm just kidding, Easy. I know I watch you guys in the afternoon too. I see y'all.
Appreciate you.
But can you guys explain to me what the difference between Jamarcus Russell and Anthony Richardson is? Anyone?
I'll let Easy take that
To be
one.
honest, I gotta be real with you guys. When Jamarcus Russell was coming out of the draft, I was like 12 or 13 years old, so I don't have like a much.
You don't have the whole breakdown of Jamarcus
I don't have a
Russell.
whole assessment of Jamarcus Russell. I'll say.
Oh, well, damn. It made me feel old in this bitch. Come on, Easy. Damn.
Well, what I can tell you about Jamarcus Russell, that in college he threw his last year, junior year, almost 70% completion percentage. So I guess coming out, at least statistically, he was a much more accurate passer. And that was at LSU, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So at least he has that going for him, Terrell.
It's fair.
Yeah, that's true. But it's kind of the same thing. You know, it's one of those guys that shows up in shorts, just like Malik did last year.
Absolutely.
Throws a bunch of 70-yard bombs, and then everybody's drooling all over him like he's the GOAT. Like, it's fucking underwear Olympics, bro. That shit doesn't mean nothing when there's no pressure in your face.
Yeah. No, and again, that's the big thing. And that's why I love Dan, right, Terrell? I mean, he came out and said, I don't care about any of these dudes in their underwear. Like, we want to watch the tape.
Good,
And
exactly.
That's what matters. I think players, you can boost your stock at the combine, but if you're leaning on a broad jump in a vertical jump, you're good luck with that.
I think the difference between this year's quarterback situation and last year's quarterback situation is nobody in the NFL seemed to like any of the quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett was the only guy to go in the 1st round, and he didn't go until into the teens. And the thing with Malik Willis, there was a game where Liberty literally played, I think it was Ole Miss. You had Matt Corral and Malik Willis in that game. The Lions didn't send a single scout. They sent 6 times to go see this guy, Anthony Richardson. Now, he scares the living shit out of me too, but I just think it's something we have to – there's something there. There's something there with him that's different from like, the rest of these guys we're comparing him to.
I do trust the coaches when it comes to the quarterback thing, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. But, Jeff, I did want to touch on the point that you and I were talking about yesterday when it comes to Bijan Robinson. You remember that convo?
Oh, yeah.
So this is the thing, bro, like that I mentioned yesterday. Everybody wants to talk about rookie contracts and rookie deals and all that stuff, but you guys are conveniently missing the point that DeAndre Swift is also in his contract year. You cannot draft a running back and then have somebody that good and that talented sitting on the bench not getting carries, because I promise you this, all those little injuries that DeAndre Swift got, those little dings, games, blah, 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 playing for their money and their livelihood, it's so convenient how those little injuries just magically don't happen anymore, and they get to be like, you know, big ballers, and they don't get hurt, and they go out and put up their best years. I guarantee you he's going to show up and do the same thing. So you can't sign Williams and have Swift and have Robinson on the same team, bro. That's not going to work. Now, I do share y'all's concerns when it comes to Swift and all that stuff, and if he does come out this year and has a good year, I still wouldn't re-sign him. But you still have that dude sitting there, and he cannot be sitting on the bench when he's healthy. DeAndre Swift is too good for that. Sorry, that's my opinion about the running back situation.
And Terrell, I appreciate you speaking the truth, man. Although I may disagree with you about Swift, I completely understand where you're coming from. But I appreciate the call, man. You're welcome back anytime. You know that.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate y'all.
Yep. Take care.